Hi everyone, I hope we're all doing well. In today's video we're going to do some simple Valentine's Day's nails. So here I just got some new nail stands because I've always been using like a stick and sticking the nails onto it. But it wasn't that effective, so I thought let's just get some stands. I drew up a reference for the nails that I wanted to do, and it should be here on screen. I wanted to go for like a simple red and pink look. It might be a bit basic, but that's what I like. Now I'm just gonna measure out the nail tips that I'm gonna use. For this set, I'm gonna stick to the square shape like I showed in the reference. And when I'm measuring, I'm just making sure that the nail tip touches the side walls of my nails. Personally, I don't care if the cuticle area matches because I can just file that. So here I'm just using double-sided tape. Honestly, I didn't have the like glue tack. I don't know what it's called, but it's like the putty that's used to stick the nails onto the stands. I didn't buy it yet, but I have some double-sided tape, and I thought I could just roll it up and stick the nails, and honestly it worked well. Like, it didn't separate at all, it didn't fall off, it didn't move while I was filing it. So yeah. I thought of doing Valentine's Day's nail. That is very hard to say. Valentine's Day nails. Okay. Because honestly, I just like romance. I like this vibe. I like doing my nails when I'm free, or like when I'm stressed out. It's just like something that makes me happy, it makes me relax. So it's something that I like to do a lot of the time. The reason I started a YouTube channel, let me rant a bit while we're watching me struggle. I started a YouTube channel because I was like, okay, let me share like some tips or like my process with people. Not that I'm a professional or anything, but you know, I never see, or like maybe I didn't look good enough, but I haven't seen people use like normal nail polish instead of gel polish. So I guess I wanted to like make videos for people who are looking for nail polish tutorials, not gel polish tutorials. Anyway, so I'm just buffing out the perimeter of the tips. Off camera, I just filed the cuticle a bit to fit my cuticles, because I hate it when my cuticles are like, I don't know, they're a bit random. Some of them are square, some of them are like very deep. So I just filed them and buffed them. So here I'm just picking out the pinkish red that I want, and I ended up with this essence color. So I really like this color. It's like it shows up red on camera, but it's actually like a pinkish red. And when I paint it, like, we're gonna see the actual color of it. Like, you see on camera, it shows up. When I start painting, it shows up that it's like a pink. Honestly, I was a bit shocked that it wasn't like opaque, but it doesn't matter. I like the jelly look. And then I'm just going to pick out the other base colors. Here I'm just comparing the pink that I know that I'm gonna use with some nudes. I don't have like an actual nude. I have like some beige that's like a bit lighter than my skin, and another pinkish color, but I ended up with the beige color. Personally, I prefer the nude to be like skin color, like my skin color, or like at least similar, but I don't have that polish color. I need to buy it, but I didn't want to end up mixing it, so I went with this color, and honestly it doesn't look that bad at the end. I'm just wiping off all the excess from the sides and the cuticle and the free edge. It helps reduce the bulk of the nail a bit, especially on the sides, and I don't like that runny look, on nail polish, even gel polish, like runs to the side of the tip or the nail. It doesn't look that good. So I'm just wiping the excess, and now I'm painting all the colors for the ring finger. I was gonna go with like this pinkish color, but I ended up going with white. My problem with this white is that it's a bit too opaque, so I have to like paint it in thin layers so that I can make sure that every layer dries. Because one time I painted like a thick layer and I didn't let it dry enough, I think. So like it was just like a goopy mess. Like the surface layer was dry, but the underneath wasn't. So it was just like a goopy mess, and I just removed everything. Okay, so here we have all the base colors done. And now, when I was looking at my reference, I know that I had some nails like tagged with glitter. So for me, I like to have like a layer of matte top coat, because I think I'm not going to use glitter, but I'm going to use like eyeshadow powder. We're going to see that. And I think that powder sticks better to a matte top coat rather than a glossy top coat. Like it adds more grip to it. So I'm just done with the matte top coat on my ring finger, or my ring nail. And here is the eyeshadow palette, or more like blush and highlighter and contour. But I just use it for anything, to be honest. And onto the thumbnail. If any of you are like focusing on the reference, I actually was supposed to add a layer of highlighter, just like I did with the ring finger, before drawing on the heart that I'm drawing right now. But I forgot. Honestly, it's like it's to be expected. But then when I realized, I think this is a moment where I realized. So I was like, okay, let's just erase it, and then I'm gonna add the matte top coat and do the highlight again. It wasn't that hard. My problem with normal nail polish is that, unlike gel polish, it dries. Like you don't have to do anything to it to dry, but it just dries in the air. So when erasing, it can leave like a little residue. Anyways, I left the thumbnail and I moved on to the the pointer finger. And on this finger, I'm supposed to paint like a pink French tip. And I start off my French tip by like painting a horizontal line where I want the bottom of the French tip to be, and then connecting it with like a slightly curved line to the sides of the nail, and then just moving it, seeing it from different angles, filling the missing places, or like places where I think the polish is a bit spotty. And then when I'm sure that I like the shape, I go in with the normal nail polish brush and I go over what I did to make the color more opaque and less streaky. So here it is. It looks nice. I think it looks nice. So yeah, French tips are a bit hard, but I like doing them more so I can get more practice and I can improve. So now that I remember that I need to have some glitter on the thumbnail, I just rub it with a honestly disgusting nail brush, but it works well for this purpose. And then to lock all this powder in, I just added like a layer of matte top coat, because I wasn't sure if I was gonna go over the first layer of powder with another layer. This is what it looks like. It's actually like really pretty, to be honest. I like adding like a bit of shimmer to the nails. It adds like a extra depth. If you have just like especially on like the big nails, I like adding glitter or like a bit of shimmer, so you can add a bit of depth to the color. Okay, now that I'm done with the actual base, I can draw on the heart that I have in the middle. So looking back at the reference, I have the reference in front of me when I'm working. So I started with like a thin brush, but then I was like, nah, I need to map this out. So I took out the glitter pen and drew on it, but then I realized that the nail wasn't 100% dry. So I just drew very lightly on it so I wouldn't leave indents in it. Every time, honestly, I never learn. I do this every time and I never learn. So jump to the heart. Like, it didn't pop up that much on the red background, so I took some white polish and I went over the heart. Honestly, I should have done this from the beginning, but okay, we learn from our mistakes. So I went over the heart with some white, and I think it took 2 layers. I'm not really sure. Yeah, it took 2 layers to make it opaque. Because I use thin layers, like I said, I don't like to pile on this white. And I just traced the heart. And I don't know why, but I forgot to add like the little circle at the bottom of the heart. I have it in my reference, and my reference is like right in front of me, so I don't know how I managed to forget that, but that's okay. Even though the base colors are like different for each nail, like 2 nails share the same base color, but I wanted to use the same colors in this set to unify it and make it like a coherent set, like a cohesive set. So I'm using the red that I used for the thumb to draw the ribbon on. Honestly, I should have used like a thinner brush. I think I made a mistake using, like, this brush isn't thick, but it's like a bit thicker than the thinnest brush that I own. And honestly, the brushes I have, I got them from Amazon. They were a bit thick, like some of them were a bit thick for my liking, so it just looked like the nail clippers, and I took off some strands to make them the thickness that I wanted for small details. So on my ring finger, I'm supposed to have like cherries, but instead of the cherries, it's like hearts. So I'm using the glitter pen that I used to draw the heart on the thumbnail to draw like the cherry stalk and the cherry hearts. Just mapping out everything and sketching really helps me to figure out where everything should be, because this is very easy to erase, and it's much easier to erase than like nail polish that has dried, and I didn't want to mess up my base, so I'm just going in with the pink and the red to map the places, and then going in with the nail polish to fill in the hearts, the heart cherries. Something that I found out was that it's not that ideal to draw over this glittery pen, because it takes a bit longer to dry, like longer than nail polish. So it's like painting on a very liquid base, and the nail polish didn't really like sticking to that, so yeah. Okay, so here's the little heart with the dot underneath. I actually remembered to do it off camera. And now I'm just going in with the pink color that I'm using. It's like I wouldn't call it fluorescent, but it's like bright. Maybe neon. Yeah. I'm going in with like this bright pink, filling in the heart. And as we can see, it's gonna require like a few layers to get it to the opaqueness that I want. Honestly, this shade, like the single layer over the white, didn't look that bad, but I wanted to go with the reference that I had and to make it as opaque as the pointer finger, the French tip on the pointer finger. And now that I'm done with the first layer, I just let it dry so we can move on to the pinky. The pinky has these nice swirly designs. It's a bit simple, but it looks good. I thought it looks good. In the beginning, I really wanted the swirls to be thin, but then I thought like they looked a bit too far away or like sparse, and I didn't want to increase the number of swirls. So for the swirls, I just thickened them up a bit, and since nail polish dries up just in the air, I can't go in with a brush and like fix it before it dries, just like before I cure it, just like gel polish. So I'm just off camera going in with the base color that I had and cleaning up the edges, and then I went in with the red. Honestly, looking at it now, it looks like a candy cane. I know that I said that you can't go in with a brush to fix up nail polish, but if you're actually quick enough, you can take like a bit of acetone on the brush and like just wipe it away. But be careful, because it can disturb the layers that you had before. So here I'm just thickening up the red like I did with the pink, wiping off any excess on the side and making sure that it's, I wouldn't say equal thickness. I didn't make them all equally thick. I didn't make the lines uniform. I made like the edges a bit, or like the ends a bit thicker. So after the pinky finger, why do I keep calling it pinky? After pointer finger dried, I just added like a glossy top coat. I'm adding like a glossy top coat as well to lock in all the colors, all the stripes, the nail art before I do anything to mess it up. Because on the reference I just had it like this, like technically I should be done with the pinky, but then I thought it was a bit too plain, so I just top coated it and left it. Now oh my god, honestly, when this happened I was like heartbroken, because the pen wasn't dried enough, so I just smeared it around, but it was easily fixable. On the thumbnail, you can see that I have added the same like chrome pink that I added on the pinky, just like an outline to the heart and the little circle. And now I'm just using some nail glue. This is a bit thicker because I think like it thickened up in the sun or something. You know when something goes wrong but it's like in your favor? Like I think this is one of those times. I just used the thick nail glue to add some heart, what do I call this, sequins in the middle. The pointer, I'm just using like little pearls, the smallest pearls I have, to be honest, to add in the center of the bow. And for these, like a little trick I like is to wet the tip of my brush and to pick it up. It usually like picks up because of static or like the wetness, I don't know, I'm not sure to be honest, but it picks up well enough so I can stick it and make sure that it's stuck on there. And for the pearl and the sticker that I added on the thumb, honestly anything that I add with glue, I like to go over around it with more glue so that I can make sure that it's really stuck. So here in the pinky, I'm actually using my thinner glue to coat the whole nail, and add more of these heart sequins. So these are like, there's like a bigger heart and smaller hearts that are cut off from the middle, and they actually leave the smaller hearts in the package. So I was rooting around to find the smaller hearts to stick around randomly, and then I took one of the big hearts to stick at the bottom of the nail, like at the corner, to tie the whole look together. And on the ring finger, I'm using the thicker glue again, so I can like form a glob. And then I'm gonna add like a pearl, a bigger pearl this time, into that empty space at the top. Sometimes it's like when you're going through the process, different ideas come to mind and you have to adapt. And honestly, I liked how this set came out. We're gonna see at the end, and I think it turned out cute. So I'm going back in with the smaller pearls. Almost had an accident there. I'm going in with the smaller pearls and adding them into the empty spaces, because I thought like one big pearl looked a bit out of place, so I wanted like little baby pearls around it. So this is how the nail looks. Honestly, I think it's very cute. So I left the middle nail for the end because it's like the most complicated design. It's like hearts offsetted from the central heart, and it's like pink hearts and then red outline. So here on the middle nail, I went in with my finger and some highlight. Oh, I forgot to mention, but you know the rep polish that I was using, it like suddenly just fell. It didn't fall suddenly. I accidentally knocked it on the table, and when I was trying to clean it up, it fell on my fingers as well and on my table. So yeah, that explains the red marks that I have. And honestly, I did try to wipe them, but they were very persistent. But I went over, after I stopped filming, I went over them with some acetone, and yeah, they just went away, as you can see. Not all of the marks, but most of them. Now it's the next day. Honestly, I was a bit tired and I wanted to sleep, so honestly, I was procrastinating. I didn't want to start it, but I knew that I had to. Like I didn't want to leave the cell like this. So to plan everything out again, I went in with the glitter pink pen, and I drew in the central heart, and then I offsetted the other hearts around it. The beauty about these pens is that you can easily just rub off or like use water to remove them, or anything honestly before they dry. And honestly, I think after they dry you can like rub them off with acetone. I'm not sure, I didn't try it to be honest. Maybe I'm gonna try it and then tell you guys. So I just drew hearts all over the nail, keeping in mind that I wanted to have 2 colors on each stripe. I wanted pink and then red under the pink stripes, just like the pinky nail. So I was a bit mindful of the spacing of the lines that I drew so that it would adequately fit all the colors. So here I'm using my thinnest brush to alternate the pink and the red on the lines. I actually left the pen to dry a bit so I can draw on it and not cause like any streaks or any weird marks. And here you can actually see me erasing the pen marks that I drew, because I was like, okay, maybe there are too many lines that I drew initially, so it's not gonna look that pretty when I go over it with the pink nail polish. So I just removed some lines, and I drew some lines of my own with the nail polish. And this is how it looks like when I finished it up. I cleaned it a bit with the base color, and then I added the red. And I really think it looks prettier when it's not focused, when the camera isn't focusing. But honestly, a glossy top coat is like a miracle. Unfortunately, I didn't wait long enough for the colors to dry, so I smeared it a bit. That's why I'm trying to cover it up. Like, I wanted this nail to be simple, just like the nail art. But unfortunately, my patience wasn't there, so I added a pearl and some heart decals, or I need to know what they're called. I'm gonna call them like glitter sticker. I don't know, glitter. I'm gonna call them glitter, even though they're not glittering. But okay, I just added some hearts and some pearls on the nail, so it can cover up my mistake, and I let it dry. And here we have the completed set. I did do the other hand off camera. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. And I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye!